Gamers, good morning. It's technically morning still where I'm at. Although I'm sure many of you are Euro Jacks. Okay. What's up, Self? How you doing? What's up, Kazan? Good to see you as always. Let me, What's up, Hose B? How you doing? I need to research for my Mewtwo. I'm looking for a modest one, I believe. Oh, gotta look at my old stream. So now, let's go to Fire... Okay. This is the 469 one. Alright, so our seed is... 6 9 F B 838. We're doing FireRed English. We're doing DS. We're doing Teachy TV mode. Submit. What's your PID? This is the PID. So let's. Hold on. I'm literally listening to myself do this. Examining. Up the timers. Okay, beautiful. Same. Figuring stuff out. Make it less. We're figuring stuff out right now. I set it to 1,000. And I went for this one. Examining. We'll set this to like 1,300 to like 1,600. TV advances 236. That should be fine. Okay. Sorry, gamers. I'm almost there. That's the wrong one. All right. Let's give it a whirl, gamers. It's been a while since you caught a stream. I mean, aside from yesterday, it's quite frankly been a while since I have streamed, so I've been very focused on my second channel, no bottle caps, but I'm getting back into the swing of doing both. I'm getting into the swing of doing both channels at the same time. What's up? You said that was Gaidi Sudi. How are you doing? Praying I can get the shiny Poipole. It's tough. Shiny Poipole's tough, Manip. Thank you for your tutorials. Trying to RNG all shiny legends in Emerald. Got 2 Reggies in the Roamer. W. Good luck, Mussolini. Alright, that's racist. You're calling me Mussolini because I'm Italian? Oh no, that person's name Mussolini. Lamau. Ignore me. I was like, this motherfucker's calling me Mussolini because I'm Italian. Let it be known the Italians didn't even like that guy. What's going on, Bubble Beat? Have a great stream, Blissy. We love you. Thank you very much, Rabid Lynn. Appreciate you. Rabid Links. I certainly hope you're not rabid, but that could be fine. Please explain the stream title. What questions do you have about it? I can answer them. Is it about the TGTV? Is it about Legends EA? Legends EA is going to have home compatibility eventually, so my plan was to simply catch this, transfer it all the way up into Pokemon Home, and then when I'm done with that, I will send it into Legends EA. That was my plan. What about y'all? We gotta check this Mewtwo. Nature. We could do a bingo board on this, but gender, can't do any gender. It's level 70 with 2. So right now I'm putting in its stats. The stats help me determine where I am in like the RNG sequence. Okay, I was 2 seeds early. Yeah, so we're pretty close already. Mewtwo's sprite is just spaghetti. After how many Mewtwo's does this method stop working? It'll work forever, baby. There is no time in which this will not work. In fact, if they put this onto Virtual Console, it would work. I mean, we would have to do some research into what seeds the Virtual Console gets, but it would work. I'm gonna do the rare double all ping. Oh my god, I pinged some random person. I'm expecting ZA support to come... That's a ruined run. The RNG advances every time you go into a sub-menu. Go back here. I mean, it's compatible with Pokemon Legends Arceus as well. I mean, you know, listen, I'm not a huge fan of Sarah B. Joe these days, but I will say this much. He is correct that the Legends games are mainline Pokemon games. Like, there's really not very much distinction between the Legends games and the mainline games. Or there's not as much distinction as people would like there to be. Like, people think that, like, Legends is, like, a totally different thing. And I think if you want to consider Legends... Like, if you want to consider Legends like a side series game, that's pretty valid, but it's clearly, like, more ingrained with the main series than even something like, hold on. This is, like, kind of annoying me. Than even something like, Coliseum is, you know? Like, how often do we have games... How often have Pokemon spin-off games been developed by Game Freak? Like, has that ever even happened? What spin-offs has Game Freak developed? For a long time, that's how I kind of would differentiate it, right? Was it made by Game Freak? If not, that's a spin-off, baby. Alright, we were 1 seed early. I'm like kind of skewing early on seeds, so I might do an adjustment there. It also looks like I'm a little bit late in frames. I don't wanna adjust the frame though. Alright. What's up, Quasartist? How are you doing today? Mewtwo's in a couple of other games, is it not? If there's home compatibility, it's main series. Well, like, you can't use that as a classification because then people would argue, like, older Pokemon games aren't home compatible, right? Mystery Dungeon is not owned by Game Freak, it's owned by Spike Chunsoft. That's right. I mean, Mystery Dungeon is owned by the Pokemon Company, right? Like, Spike Chunsoft was licensed and contracted to make those games. It's owned by the Pokemon Company, which is partially owned by Game Freak, right? I would be very surprised if Spike Chunsoft has any ownership over the Mystery Dungeon game. Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee can only go into home in one direction. You can send them from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee directly into home, but you cannot send any Pokemon into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee from home. You can only send Pokemon into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee from Go. You think Mewtwo's in Heart Gold? Mewtwo is, it's just cooler. I just like FireRed, man. There's a couple of reasons why it's like, I'm not getting a perfect Mewtwo. Okay, like, you have to think of it this way. Like, I'm not going for what is the best, easiest, perfect way to get a Mewtwo into a perfect Mewtwo into, or even a shiny Mewtwo into Legends ZA, right? You can shiny hunt Mewtwo, you can RNG minute Mewtwo in many different games. I'm just doing it in a way that I like to do, and there's a couple of cool factors about. I always think it's cool to get a Pokemon from the oldest game that it can be in into the newest game that it can be in. I always think that's pretty cool. And then on top of that, like, I also think that Fire and Leaf Green RNG manips are fun. Oh, wrong one. What's up, Spaz? How you doing? Haven't caught your stream in a minute, but I got a job I talked about last time. It's not a ton of cash, but it's better than nothing. Fix your GameCube 2. Very nice. I'm happy things are on the come up for you, Quasartist. And listen, if a job can pay the bills and you don't want to die going into it, it's good enough for a while. I'll say that much. I could do that if I wanted to, Falling Doc, but I don't. So like, it's so funny. A lot of people think that the reason the YouTube channel No Bottle Caps is named No Bottle Caps is because, bottle caps are hard to get in Legends ZA, or they were before they updated the game. No, it's called No Bottle Caps because I don't fucking need them, baby. I get 5 IV Pokemon on the regular. You can go into the description of every No Bottle Caps video, and there's a shit post in there talking about how bottle caps are bad. What's up, Lincoln? Hope you're doing well. Here, I'll go right now to the most recent No Bottle Caps thing, and I'll read it. This is in the description of every single No Bottle Caps video. I want you to understand this, chat, okay? Just to be clear, we here at No Bottle Caps are not part of the anti-bottle cap agenda. In fact, we welcome bottle caps. That being said, we do not need them. They exist to help bring your pathetic excuses for Pokemon up to our level. When your Hexagon says Hyper Trained, I instantly know 2 things about you. 1, you probably didn't cheat, because most cheaters try to imitate the No Bottle Caps gravitas and arbitrarily make everything 31. They've never even heard of Hidden Power, and cannot fathom needing a couple 30s to check Salamence. 2, you haven't yet learned the joys of RNG manipulating competitive stats for yourselves. Perhaps it's time you rectified this grievous error. Go dust off your childhood fanny pack, give your GBA CPR, plug in your copy of Pokemon Emerald version from 2004, and get to work before it's too late. This is literally in every... You can go to every single No Bottle Caps video and look at the description. And it's in every single one of them. So that's actually why the channel is called that. Also, what's up, Darth Gilgamesh? How you doing? Jeff wrote that. I didn't write that. I think that would be cool, Falling Doc. But I think it would have been data mined already, no? Modest. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, we were 2 MS late again. We gotta readjust, we gotta redo. Whatever. Those tend to be reserved for straight up remakes though, right? This is because, I mean, the TGTV is hard. It's just not easy to get a TGTV manip successfully. It's 3 frame perfect inputs. You know, sometimes I get a TGTV the day of, sometimes it takes me a little while. I was 1 frame off multiple times yesterday. Literally exactly 1 regular frame off. So... Yes, you can, Luke. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate you. Alright. How's the EonTimer volume, chat, by the way? Is it okay? Want to make sure EonTimer isn't goobing everybody. Oh, I forgot to put the live split timer on the screen. Can we get rid of this? Okay, let me get live split open. It's been a while since I've streamed because I keep forgetting about live split. Edit splits. I was at let's say I was at 2:30 yesterday, and let's say I've been going for 20 minutes today, so we'll do 2 hours. We'll do 2 hours, 50 minutes. 0 seconds, please. Alright, let's check this fella out. Oh. 250 is a maximum HP stat, I think, right? That did feel like a good attempt, but maybe it wasn't. Let's see. 150, 173, 152, 259, 133, 181. It is maximum HP. I was 2 seeds early. Man. Yeah, if you have Bank on your DS already, you can download it. I have a shiny Fearow on my Leaf Green and transferred it to Diamond. I need to get it up. Yep. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people don't like transferring. I actually don't love... I don't love transferring Pokemon up, usually. Like, I like keeping the guys in the games that they're in because there's going to be a hard cutoff one day. Whether they discontinue downloading if it's going to stay working. What I suspect the case is... this seed was bad. I'm just going to retry. But the reason that is because... Pokemon Bank's server is different than the store server, if that makes sense, right? What I suspect is the case anyway. So, like, all of, like, the eShop was all on a server, right? And whatever Pokemon Bank has to connect to, is not the multiplayer Nintendo Online server or anything like that. They're having it connect to something else. A lot of people think, from what I've heard speculated, is that it uses the same server as Home at this point. And so it technically won't ever need to go offline. Although I imagine they'll shut it down one day. Because the architecture for it's going to continue to get outdated, right? I don't even know if they could push updates for it if they wanted to. Could they? I don't like how you need to have a Home subscription to transfer from Bank. Yeah, I didn't like that either when that happened. I never liked it being paid. Like, why couldn't Bank's transfer be free? Same with Home. The ZA trade codes are annoying because people can steal your traded evolution. Why would someone do that? Why would someone try and steal your traded evolution? What are you talking about? I guess some of the items are hard to get. Yeah, and also there's simply no reason for Pokemon storage to be cloud-based. The file sizes of the creatures are so tiny. Like, there's just no reason it couldn't have like, first of all, I don't mind Pokemon Home or Bank existing and being like a paid app to store Pokemon on a cloud service so you can transfer them from game to game easily. I actually don't mind that at all, and I think most people wouldn't necessarily mind that concept. What I mind is hard tying, because it's just, to me, it's so short-sighted. It's just hard tying transfer only to a limited time digital service. Why would they do that? They knew that it would end eventually. Like, I truly don't understand. You know what? I just truly can't. I don't get it. Well, the thing is, it's never going to be possible to do the local transfers on the Nintendo Switch. It's so ridiculous when companies do that, by the way. As losing sales. They think the exact same thing about Super Smash Bros., by the way. I don't know where my phone is. I have to read wife. I'm just gonna go one more with no Caleb. All right, let's boot this up. What's up, Tavia? How you doing? Do you think they could have done the legality without being always online? What do you mean legality verifications without always being online? Like, what are you talking about? The legality checks that Home does? Like, the home tracker situation doesn't need to apply to... No, I think they could have done that easily without being always online, yeah. What you do is you have the tracker show up, you have the tracker not be home-based, right? You put the tracker in any Switch game. So it's like, they would have needed to think of... Like, if they just thought of the home tracker for the first time, right? And they thought of the tracker. They're like, oh, this tracker thing will let us make things legal, right? But the thing about the tracker is it only prevents cloning or any hacking of Pokemon who have already received the tracker. So, like, if you, for example, wanted to clone a Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet or whatever, you could clone it before it goes into Home. And then you send it into Home twice. And it'll just get two different home trackers, right? So that doesn't matter. So what they could do is have each individual Pokemon that are spawned in Scarlet and Violet, those individual Pokemons, they could spawn with a tracker as well. And the tracker would be independent of, I guess the issue with that is the game would have to always be online to assign it. I guess it could assign the tracker once the game connects to the internet. So if you ever connect to do a battle, then it instantly assigns the tracker to the thing. And then you have to have connected to the internet in order to... No. They wouldn't have to make it unique to the save files. What you would have to do is it would assign a tracker. You assign a tracker when you connect to the internet. Like, just the moment you connect to the internet. It assigns a tracker, and you have to do that before you do a tournament battle. PK Hex makes things easy, but it doesn't do everything for you, Spaz. So there are a lot of things that that they check for that aren't PK Hex. Technically, Megearna is not locked to the 3DS, right? You can get Megearna from home. Now, it does require you completing a national dex. But I don't think you need any of the mythicals to get Megearna, right? That was 2 seasons. Oh, wrong button. No, I don't think Megearna requires you. I don't think Megearna requires you to have mythics, does it? I'm checking. How do you get the Megearna? How to get Pokeball Megearna. Does Megearna need mythicals? Home Megearna need mythics. This is so bad. My type it. Wow, it does need mythicals. Oh, Bobby just said it, but also it looks like from what I'm looking, it needs mythicals. That's actually unfortunate. The old games get ported up. I doubt the RNG... Oh, I hit the A button. We already know that the RNG manips would, in fact, be identical Evo Mew, by the way. I mean, there would be certain differences, but they would be very similar. So, for example, if Emerald version gets ported, if they just put it in the... Like, let's say Pokemon Emerald version gets released on the GBA version of Pokemon Home. Or a Pokemon... Of the Nintendo Online thing, right? Let's say they do that. Okay? If they in fact do that, Emerald version will be no different. It'll be exactly the same way to RNG manip it. And even if they mess with the initial seeding process in Emerald version specifically, right? Even if they do that, you could just only do painting RNGs. Like, there's literally no world, I think, where they put Emerald in that game, or in the Switch, and just delete the painting RNG minute. It wouldn't be possible. They couldn't do anything. If Ruby and Sapphire are ported, I would expect them to actually implement the RTC, and you wouldn't have dead battery manips, but you would have an RTC manip that is probably controlled somehow by the Switch's internal clock. They could do weird stuff like Lincoln is saying, where you port the Gen 5 games but crypto secure VSync every boot. Where they get the seeding by doing some weird stuff, but I doubt that would be I doubt that would happen. Yeah. What's up, Amaryllis? I'm doing alright. What about yourself? I personally expect when Coliseum is introduced into the virtual console thing that they're doing, I personally expect when it's introduced, you're not going to be able to do Manipsant, or you're not going to be able to transfer Pokemon out of it. That's what I would expect. I would be very surprised if they make it function. It'd be a nice surprise, but I would be surprised, to say the least. 41, 162, 139, 231. I'm skewing late on seeds, man. All right. We're gonna lock in next attempt, and then if I'm still late, then we'll deal with it then. You're working on XD Netplay stuff with people? What you doing with it? Or you're just like trying to set it up with your friends? Or are you trying to like work on more codes and stuff? Are you one of the people I've talked to before or no? There was someone I was talking to about trying to make it even more accurate. With codes and stuff, but I don't know. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's still a few things about the XD Netplay thing that I would like to figure out and do, but I'm just not, like, good enough at anything to do it. The number one thing... Oh, this is bad attempt. I'm so not locked in, by the way. So, like, the number one thing about the XD Netplay stuff is, what was the big problem with it? It was, switching. No, it wasn't switching, excuse me. It was leftovers, because I believe switching out is, I believe double switching is appropriate, but leftovers doesn't work based on who is faster in that game. Leftovers actually works based on who went first that turn. So if I switch, let's say there's a Starmie on the field and it's not full HP and it's got leftovers, and then there is another Pokemon on the other side of the field. I switch it out and I switched in a Blisy that wasn't full HP. Blisy would get its leftovers first that turn because it technically went first because of leftovers, or because it switched. I messed up. Which is so the leftovers reading, the leftovers working based on speed will work if both Pokemon attack that turn. You'll be able to tell, but if both people switch, it won't work because it's going to go based on who switched first. I mean, the thing about the ADV on Showdown is Showdown on ADV is not actually a true replica of the real game, right? And both ways to play it on cartridge or console differ from each other, right? Like XD and Coliseum both have forced team preview, and they actually have rules like you can implement, like freeze clause you can implement. And you can also implement sleep clause. But then but then the problem comes, it would have forced team preview, it always shows your max HP value. There's a bunch of really big problems with it that like are just bad. They're just bad. They're just bad. But I think that the speed issue on the Game Boy Advance is also really bad. And so it's like, you look at it, it's like, what's the best way to play ADV? Well, it's like, both ways to play ADV lose something that makes the game good. And then Showdown does what Showdown thinks is the best possible version of it. So, we're funnily enough modding the main games to be more like the simulator. What's up, Infant Omniverse? How you doing? What's up, No Signal as well? I do think the best way to play is still what Jeff and I did, where we ran the cheat codes in XD. I think that's the best way to play the games currently, and the easiest. It is I think it's a little more intrusive than what Melee does, but the thing is, like, if it makes the game better, it's fine. Like, I think Gen 3 is worse if you can't, like, first of all, every Pokemon, in fact, it's really funny, because the single player for Gen 3, does work that way, right? The single player for Gen 3, Leftovers and Sandstorm determines, is determined by the speed stat. Right? But the multiplayer doesn't do it, probably because of, like, the protocol that it has to use for the link cable. One game has to be the, you know, player one. Basically. Alright, we're getting close. So I don't know. It's definitely more alterations, but I think the idea to assume something like, listen, every other game works like this afterwards. This game works like this in the single player mode. It's fair to assume that they did this because of a technical limitation rather than that's what they actually wanted to do. So I think it's a fair assumption to do that. Where I would say UCF is, like, not even, like, UCF is, like, almost, it's not even a fault of Melee, right? It's like the controllers. UCF does do more than fix control, and you can argue, right, UCF is, like, the way UCF does things is, like, ham-fisted, where it makes tech more lenient in terms of frames or angles, so that all controllers can do it. You agree on banning fun stages like Pokefloats? Pokefloats is not banned. People who don't play Melee competitively, like, don't understand. Like, people look at the game and they're like, oh, they banned the fun stages like Pokefloats. Like, okay, Pokefloats is fun, but, like, the reason that stage got banned is actually because in competitive play, it's not fun. That stage heavily favors Fox. It has a really low ceiling, and it's extremely easy for him to camp on it. He will destroy, like, you think he beats Jigglypuff and Peach now? Go back to, like, 2007, and Fox really beat Jigglypuff and Peach because he was able to, just smoke them on Pokefloats and on, like, Rainbow Ride or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, people, like, think that, like, the community is just banning fun, and it's like, no, we're literally banning unfun things. Like, Pokefloats would not be banned if it was fun to play on, bro. That's just the truth of the matter. I might do an adjust. No, I gotta lock in. Melee has 6 legal stages, actually. I did the wrong one. Melee has 6 legal stages, and I would tell you, honestly, Final Destination is not even in the top. If I want to look at what are the fairest stages in Melee's tournament sets, I think Final Destination is maybe the least fair. Stadium is regular stadium, or unfrozen stadium is less fair probably than Final Destination. So I would go, like, if you want to look at the fairest stages in that game, it's probably like, dude, fairest to least fairest is probably like Battlefield. Maybe it's after Battlefield, there's a big drop off. It's probably like Battlefield, FOD, Dreamland, Yoshi's, FD, Unfrozen Stadium. And then if There is Frozen Stadium. It's probably Battlefield, Frozen Stadium, and then the same order otherwise. And yes, Unfrozen Stadium is really... Frozen Stadium is really good for Fox, but it's really good for a lot of characters, so... I don't think it's that big of a deal. Unfreezing Stadium gave Fox a boost, which he really need. He is better on Unfrozen Stadium than Frozen. Battlefield has notoriously broken ledges. Oh, that's not really true. They kind of. In reality, Battlefield's ledges work fine. They're just visually inconsistent with how they're actually designed. If that makes sense. Very rarely is there something to complain about on Battlefield's ledges in my mind. It can happen. It can happen, trust me. But I actually like that Battlefield... I think, like, so if you looked at me and you said, Blisy, do you want a Battlefield that's like in Brawl or Project M, if you... where it has like the tiny sloped ledges? I would tell you, actually, I would not want Battlefield's ledges to be like that in Melee, because Battlefield having slightly sloped ledges like that would allow Fox and Falco to ride them easier. And I think one of the things that, and even Marth to some extent, and I think that one of the things that balances, that makes Battlefield so, that's one of the things that really makes it balanced, is it's nerfing Fox a lot by having it be a stage where he can't ride ledges. Younglink beating H-Box Puff on Dreamland is the highlight moment for Younglink. Funnily enough, that would not happen today, I don't think. I actually don't even think that Younglink beats Jigglypuff. It's close, but it's a good matchup for Younglink, but I don't know that it actually beats it. Is it Younglink who beats Puff or Armada? Younglink does match up well. Younglink absolutely matches up well into the two top-tier floaties in Jigglypuff and Peach. It is like they are like good matchups for him because of his air mobility. I main Younglink. He's my favorite character in that game. He can actually kill them. And he's really mobile in the air, and he can out-camp them if he... I actually don't know that I would say he could out-camp Jigglypuff, but he is good into them. I would say Younglink Jigglypuff's probably like a 50-50. And I maybe even would lean into saying that Puff wins, and I think Peach definitely beats Younglink. But it's just one of his better matchups. Oh my gosh. It's not annoying. I like talking about this stuff. What's going on? What's your question? It is not scrapped, it's just on the back burner for a while for a couple of reasons. There's a couple of different reasons why it is on the back burner. That should be a good lock-in. I think you can do Moltres these days in XD, but I'm not 100% sure about it. There is definitely some form of XD blink, but I don't know how much it's been solved. I think they use Evo blink to do it, where they like evolve a Pokemon after beating Lugia. Like, so basically you'll have like a Dusclops who evolves after you KO the Lugia, and then you use that to keep track of your seed and stuff like that, to try and hit a specific Moltres. I'm 100% sure people have done it. I don't know how like ironed out and like how published and documented the methods are of it, if that makes sense. Like, so, there's definitely been a Japanese person who's posted in like an article on how to do it. But I don't know if there's any specific tools for it other than like Evo, like, yeah, I don't know for sure if there's like a full XD blink program or whatever. I just got my Moltres with glitches. Please do not talk about me that way. It makes me very uncomfortable. Dasis, I think it's weird. Thank you. It's definitely doable now. It was not doable for a really long time. It was not possible to do at all for a very, 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 very long time. Your video about getting a perfect Luna made me realize how lucky I was when getting a decent speed stat. Fuck. Yeah, Ursaluna is an annoying Pokemon to get, I'll say that much. Oh, Mybe, you got the tism. I just think it's weird to... The first thing I ever see a person say about me is complimenting me on my appearance. Like, I'm not interested... Like, I'm uncomfortable talking about my appearance. It's just like, I don't understand how you can think it's not weird. Like, I don't know you. I'm just banning you. It's just weird. It sounds like someone never gets compliments. What an insane person. You're literally insane. Like, go seek mental help. That's unhinged. If, like, you're like this... I'm not getting rage baited. Right? I already banned him. The person complimented me and was extremely upset that I rebuffed any compliment or anything like that. Oh boy, here we go. People are insane. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah, they were saying that I was autistic because I asked them to not comment on my appearance. Sounds like someone never gets a compliment. Me shaving 2 days ago, my wife going, you look so handsome now that you shaved and it's shorter. It's like, bro. I just think it's weird to, like, focus on a creator's appearance at all when that's not the focus of what they're doing, if that makes sense, right? I think that's like a weird thing to do. Well, yeah, Omniverse, you're a woman, so I'm sure it's literally 50 trillion times worse for you. Even though you don't show your face at all. Like, existing as a woman equals harder in terms of dealing with, like, garbage, stuff like that. But yeah, I just think it's a weird thing to do, like, if the person isn't trying to focus on their appearance or anything, like, I don't know, I think it's just weird. The thing is, I like having a face cam because I think sometimes, like, reactions and stuff are fun, right? I think that'd be fun. I think that is something that makes them fun. Even though I'm definitely more quiet or laid back or, like, lower energy than a lot of streamers, I do have my moments where I get excited and I yell and stuff, and I think having a face cam enhances that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have banned them if they said something like, if they were like, you're cute, and I was like, yeah, listen, please don't talk about my appearance. That conceptually makes me uncomfortable. And they were like, oh, might be. I would have been like, you're good. But they instantly got mad at me. It literally, instantaneously. We also... Yeah, I don't know where he is right now. He's probably sleeping with Semolina. They're probably sleeping on the couch together. It's not possible to get your secret ID without resetting the game, right? In what game? Some games that's probably true, but in Gens 3 and 4, you can get it without resetting your game. Gens 3, 4, and... Gens 3, 4, 6, and 8. Or, I don't know about BDSP, but... All of Gen 3, all of Gen 4, all of Gen 6, and Sword and Shield, you can do it without resetting your game. You just... Platinum, you just have to find a shiny. That's all you have to do. You have to find a shiny, learn its exact IVs. And in fact, it's slightly easier in Platinum because you can do the Poke Radar to get a couple of shinies that way, and it'll probably be faster than doing a full odds hunt. Also, Shao, did you see the thing I sent you yesterday? I thought you would enjoy it. My music recap on YouTube. Radar shinies have a... Radar shinies have, like, a specific method. I think you have to get multiple of them, Chris. So it doesn't work with, like, just one... Like, you can't just get one radar shiny. You need to get, like... You need to, like, chain multiple of them together. So I don't really know what it is for sure, but you can definitely do it. 11th hour music is solid. That's the best soundtrack in the Adventure Zone, is the 11th hour, I think. So, well, I do like suffering games, but it's a little bit more hype than, like, my stream demands, if that makes sense. I really liked the Suffering Games Round 2 song, I want to say. What is this, nature? X. I'm just not in the game today. Wait. I was one early, god damn it. Sorry. It's one late. As I said, I'm not in the game. Alright. Oh, almost hit the wrong timer. I thought about doing an Avomew, but I don't know. I think a lot of my future guides are going to be coming through retailrng.com. I've already got a bunch of stuff cooked up. I am proud of the fact that I was the one who came up with the way to find your secret ID in Gen 6. That is a blisy original method. I have devised such things. I'm very proud of that. I mean, I think it's cheating, Anxious Milk, but that's fine. Like, whatever. Like, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. That, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people would say that I'm cheating because I used arbitrary code execution to change my secret ID in this game to get a shiny Mewtwo. People would say that's cheating. Not another C-word discussion. I know, I'm sick of it, but also at the same time, like, you've seen my you know my channel, Shao. It's like sort of inevitable at this point. Like, this is what the channel's about, you know? What's the method in Gen 6? It's on retailrng.com. I'll link it. It's actually really easy. Technically, it doesn't get your full trainer ID. It just gets your trainer shiny value. So you can't use this to get square shinies, but I don't know. To me, that's good enough. Who gives a heck? Who gives a heck? What am I? What has become of me? Alright. I don't want to calculate this. My microphone is like in front of my keyboard, so sometimes I don't calc because I don't want to do it. What, 1 of 8? Yeah. RNGing in Gen 6 is a little bit more annoying, but yes, Shao, that's correct. Just because finding, I mean, I guess it's not that bad anymore, right? I forget that finding the seeds faster in that game. Oh, I have to go back to try and do more Blink RNG manips in Gen 6. I have so many things that I gotta do, and I can't focus my stupid brain to do any of them. I have like 10 projects in the work. I'm working on a video right now that I'm literally like trembling in my boots to release. Because my channel's views are down, and I don't know if the video is gonna do well. I'm just like such a coward right now, you know what I'm saying? It's all hard for me, and I'm split between 3 major projects, right? Main Blisy channel, retailrng.com, no bottle caps. I'm split between all 3 of them. And then I have another project I want to do after that either, right? Well, I don't think Gen 6 has any glitches, right? Can't do it. You cannot manip in Gen 2 basically at all, other than the starter and trainer ID. Yeah, there's really no meaningful glitches in that game. I'll do one more without calibration. As far as I know, anyway. I don't know, maybe that's wrong these days, but... You got burned by Windows? What do you mean? Oh yeah, Windows 11, very cool. I mean, the thing about a computer, or about like Linux, is if you want to use like Ubuntu, or you want to use like whatever distro, if you're just like watching YouTube videos and like streams and like you're not doing anything, the transition is not going to be very different. Like if you just use a computer to like Google, yeah, you can turn off everything in Windows 11, by the way. You can turn all of the telemetry and the AI off. I turned it all off. I even re-enabled the old menus. Like if you ever looked at like Windows 11 and you like right click a thing to like rename it, it has like a completely new menu that's like context dependent, and it sucks balls. You can turn the Windows 10, like Windows, they've been like that since XP. You can turn them back on. No. You don't do it through Microsoft. Like, I ran a Windows 11, like, debloat script that just removed literally every feature like that from Windows 11. No joke. It literally just deleted everything. It deleted every default install app. It turned off all of that stuff, which is very nice. All right, later, Spaz. Yeah, I ran Win 11 debloat script. I can paste in chat what I used. Really, really easy. All you have to do is open PowerShell and paste a thing in. This is all I used. Yeah, I mean, even Windows 10, you have to turn off a lot of stuff, right? You can blame, like, Apple, in my opinion. Because Apple is the one that's been, like, trying to, like, make the OS, like, more than it needed to be, I guess, you know? Yeah, I mean, I pretty much only haven't dropped Windows because I need to do video editing, I need to do streaming, and, like, all this other stuff on my computer, right? I do run Ubuntu on my, secondary PC that's in my living room. I run it as a Steam machine where it connects to my main PC and does a virtual machine. Hey, Yana. Why am I being called Yana? Well, I mean, I use the Adobe suite. Unfortunately, I really enjoy using the Adobe suite because all of the products are completely integrated with each other. It's really nice. Like, if I load an image into Adobe Premiere, right, and I think that there's something off about it, I can right-click the image in Adobe Premiere, and I can click, edit in a Photoshop, and Photoshop instantly opens up. I can do the edits in Photoshop, hit Control-S, and it alters it in Adobe Premiere. Then I can right-click a sequence in Adobe Premiere and click Replace with After Effects Composition. It'll automatically open up After Effects for me. Replace the timeline with this After Effects sequence. And then I can do all the changes that I need to in After Effects, right? All of these work, like, perfectly seamlessly with each other. And so, unfortunately, I really like them. I really like doing it. I really like using it. So it is very unfortunate. Someone became a member today, it says. But I never saw anybody. Wait, what the? Did anybody see who joined? I feel like it says I got a new member, but I have literally no notification. Like, I got no notification or anything. But who joined? Did somebody join today? I'm so confused. Now I'm gonna be 4 frames late. I completely missed it somehow. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the membership. I appreciate it. Everybody show them some Blissy love. You know, I thought that you joined. No, don't give me money if you can't afford it. I appreciate anybody who donos or even watches me. I just didn't see it. Like, what the fuck? Like, it didn't. I feel like it didn't even show up in my chat. Yeah, it's literally not in my fan funding tab. I don't understand why it's not visually here. That's so weird. I'll put that on my member board. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. That's so weird. Maybe it's like Twitch now where you have to click the share button or something. What's up, Zets? How you doing? Truly, I have no idea why, but I appreciate your membership nonetheless. That's so weird. To be truthful, I'm only membership to one single person on YouTube. And it's Papa Hefe, so I don't really know much about getting memberships. Oh, thank you. The water is out in my neighborhood right now still. Finally, we got an update about what's going on with it. Took a really long time to get anything, though. I mean, Windows 11 sucks. I wouldn't say that to me, it's not that much worse than Windows 10 or whatever, but I don't know. Especially since I turned all the features off, like, who cares? That's maybe the worst Pokemon to hunt in Legends Arceus. I agree with you, actually. Oh, we got it. Whoa. I kind of thought I wasn't doing good enough. I was legit gonna give up too. I was like, oh, I'm getting bored. Not enough people are interested in this today. I'm like low energy. I'm like kind of hungies. Beautiful. Modest. Beautiful. We'll do the calc just for posterity, right? Huh? Oh, 266. Beautiful. We got it there. It's saying no oh, this is 208. Doink. There it is. Perfect everything, hidden power dark. Is there an adamant one nearby? As well. Let's go search for an adamant one, why not, right? I forget if it's in this game or if it's in Leaf Green. Technically don't really need to pick this here, but whatever. Because there could be one of these that's like easier to get. This is only a minute. Oh, it's blackout though. Oh, this is literally 1 minute. I don't want to do TGTV. Is this 4 minutes? Wait, what? Oh, I didn't hit submit. I'm stupid. 25. If there's one that's not a TGTV requirement, I'll go for it. 6 minutes is actually not so bad, but still. What's the seed here? B11. It's 51 minutes. Yeah. 27. It looks like it's only TGTV. I bet you there's one in leaf green. Actually, I have to go Japanese, right? What do we got? Nope. I do have a Japanese leaf green, but I couldn't do this legit. 6 minutes in Japanese leaf green. It's so different. I'm not super interested in doing a 6-minute reset for stream. Four-hour reset? Uh-huh. Nah, there's nothing good here. All right. Oh, well, that was very fun. I'm glad I got the Mewtwo. I hope y'all enjoyed this little quest. I don't know what my next stream is gonna be on. I might go back towards doing the Registeel. Yeah, you can read all about it on retailrng.com. This new program that I'm using. But I might go back to doing that Registeel in Ruby and Sapphire tomorrow. Or something else. We'll see. But, yeah, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching, and have a good